extra hacks and slashes with him and JT at the end of the sequence there. Do you like that?
Well, I mean, from my experience, like, listen, you don't want players fighting each other, but there's times in a place when you want to challenge the pace of the practice, or there's a certain drill somebody doesn't like or whatever. That's part of the game. It's not a big deal. You know, I've gotten it a few times. You know, you move on, be the first guy to go take a guy to dinner. You know, I'm sure that if there was a scrum tomorrow or Saturday night, Mills would be the first guy to jump in for Petey. So, yeah, not a big deal. There's some good stuff that we're getting better at, and there's still stuff we still have to work on. You know, it's still early in this season, so did a couple of little walkthroughs today on some of the stuff that happened last couple of games. But I think for the most part, you know, obviously scoring some goals last few games, getting some depth scoring. You know, I thought the Bluger line's been really good for us the last couple of games. So yeah, overall, you know, chipping away at our game.
For everything you've wanted out of Brock, he's off to a fast start. What do you make of it?
Yeah, he's just a goal scorer. You know, he knows where to go at certain spots. You know, that's a sign of a really good player. You know, he could play 30, 35 minutes. You don't notice him for a while, and then all of a sudden he scores a goal. Like, that's one thing. It's hard to find those type of guys.
What did his power play goal last game? I mean, the feet for Miller, he's there in the dirty area high, gets the deft deflection. Yeah. Does that speak to all, not just his strengths as a goal scorer, but his positioning and his IQ and the way he's reading the game?
Well, yeah, I think we're a little, you know, sometimes the power play has been something that we're still trying to work with, in the sense that, you know, you saw the play, you know, Hughes made a great play to Miller, and we attack right away. We go downhill, it gets to the net, we score. That's the more the goals we need to get than more the setups. And I think, you know, Brock going to that position, Millsy can either shoot it or you got the shot pass. So anytime you attack, there's 2 or 3 options. Whatever option you take, attack, and I think that's a key to our power play.
How much has he evolved as a total player from the guy you're very curious about when you got here to what he is today, especially his play without the puck?
Yeah, I think for me, his practice habits is, and I think a year or two ago, I think when I talked to him, he changed his summer workout, and I thought his practice habits have really gone a couple of levels, and I think that's helped him. I think, you know, I don't know how he practiced before, but I've really liked the last year in a way he's practiced.
About Petey, the line looked a little more noticeable in the last 2 games, but, you know, just 2 assists through 6 games and no goals. Just where's his game at?
Yeah, I think he's just chipping away at his game. You know, I think everybody knows that we got to get him to move his feet. And when he has the puck, you know, make some plays in the sense of, you know, I don't care if he makes a mistake. It's being more aggressive. I think a lot of times when he's standing around, he gets in trouble. That's the mental part. We got to keep working with him. But I think that line has done a nice job for us. I think Garland's helped him. So we'll see where that line goes.
Garland and Hodge are very energetic type players. How does he fit with them?
Yeah, Garland drives a lot of the play. You know, and I think when you play with Garland, if you like Dakota has good success with him, you got to be near him. You got to be willing to move around with Garland. If you're standing around, you know, it's probably not a good, you know, so I think Petey's starting to understand if I move around, and Petey, you know, he moved around a couple times, made some really good plays because of that. So if we get a steady diet of that, you know, Garland likes to have the puck a lot, but you got to move around him so he can distribute the puck.
How much have you talked to him about just the pressure? I mean, obviously when you get a contract like that, there's pressure with it, there's expectation. Have you talked to him a bit about just, you know, not worrying about that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about it here, you know, especially this market, you got to block out the noise. You know, whether it's good or bad noise, it's you just got to, you know, when you hit the rink here, you got to prepare yourself. You know, pressure hits you when you're not prepared. You know, if you're not ready to go, or if you're, you know, so, you know, my big speech to everybody is make sure you do your reps, make sure you're in shape, make sure, because those things you can control. If you're not prepared, that's when pressure hits you.
When it comes to Dakota, you know, there's no timeline just yet on his return, but how do you integrate him into the lineup when you have, you know, these lines that are working so well, like the Petey Bluger line?
Yeah, no, but it's a good problem for me. You know, you're trying to find a puzzle, but you know, you got a guy like Dakota, and I got to get him in a good spot wherever I put him. But I think for the most part, that'll work its way out. You know, he brings a lot of those attributes that we really need on this team. You know, stuff on the wall, winning battles in front, and then obviously a really good penalty killer.
And Sherwood's off to this, you know, historic pace with the hits. What would it mean to have Sherwood and Dakota in the lineup at the same time for your team?
Yeah, I mean, they're, you know, if you ask any defense when they go back for a breakout, you know, they're looking over the shoulder when you see Sherwood or you see Dakota, those type of guys. Even Garland, he's not a hitter, but more of a, he comes up with loose pucks. It's still different, RD. When they're under pressure and guys are hitting, it's hard to break out. So that's just something that, you know, we're trying to add more to our personality.
Rick Garland's picked up quite a few points to start the season. What do you think has led to all this success for him offensively?
Well, first is his willingness to change as a player. I mean, I had him in Arizona. He's totally changed. And over the last year, he's really, as much as everybody talks about his offense, he's really turned out to be a good defensive player. Maybe 3-4 years ago, you probably wouldn't have said that. So I give him all the credit wanting to learn. We penalty killed. Like I'm actually trying to get him in the penalty kill mix, and I think he's done a nice job there. So he's a student of the game. He's always at the rink trying to get better. That's why Gars is preparing himself for those type of, you know, these pressure moments, and he's done a hell of a job for me.
Doing a story on Myers and Shen hitting 1,000 game plateau basically within days of one another. Two guys that played junior together in Kelowna, and here they are within 4 days playing 1,000 games. I mean, when you think about it, how crazy is that?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at both, they both have the same kind of attributes. You know, tough defensemen, hard to play against, block shots, very rarely get hurt, will fight for their teammates. I mean, they're the same, you know, and to play 1,000 games with that consistency of doing that every night, you know, it's a, you know, I got a lot of respect for those two guys.
You remember your 1,000th?
I don't. Maybe it was I think it was against Philadelphia when I was with Arizona.
What did it take you to get
I think I scored a goal too.
What did it take you to get to 1144 though? I mean, the game is kind of different than
what's that?
Rick. You got to 11,144 games. What did it take to get to that level though? It's different game.
No, I mean, listen, you got to, I mean, I said it before, you got to have a little bit of luck. There's some great players that have played 800 games. There's some bad luck injuries. But I think, you know, you have to have a strong mindset, but you also, you know, you got to really be physically fit, and you got to be a student of the game, and you got to constantly improve yourself, and I hate to use the word perfection, but chase perfection. You always, every time you come to the rink, and that's why I say to Mizey, you know, the 2 years I've been here, every day he comes to the rink, I don't think he's wasted a day. And I love that about players like that. They don't waste days. I think the same guys that play a lot, longevity, a lot of years in the league, they don't waste days. You know, they don't waste practices. They don't wait, you know, if you have a day off in the weight room. So I think you have to have that mentality.
How does Mizey's leadership help his teammates feel comfortable on the ice?
I think for me, for Mizey, he's the voice of reason. I find him, if things get a little crazy in the room, he's a guy that when he does speak, you know, it calms people down because I think he has a big voice. And I think it's just the way he works. Like I said, you know, when you watch him practice and give it, he might, listen, he's going to make a mistake, but he's the first guy to admit it and the first guy to go, how do I get better at it? That's why I have a lot of respect for him.
So when he says the boys have been talking, you know, something's coming up, and Mizey knocks on the door, and they want to look at or change?
Yeah, no, he's, no, I've always told Mizey to make sure if there's something on your mind, but yeah, no, he's, he doesn't even have to say the boys. If he feels that he's wants to say something, I got no problem with it.
Last game, Hughes under 20 minutes. I think he only did 3 or 4 times the entirety of last season, and he was the 4th highest time on ice defenseman. So how important is it that, you know, he gets those under 20 games throughout the season?
Yeah, I think it's big. I think for you know, a coach's dream is to evenly distribute the ice time to everybody and win a game. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen because, you know, you got to play certain people in different situations. But when you, I like the way I like the way Branston and Vinny played, and I thought it was, you know, obviously Huggy was a big part of us getting the lead. You know, I'm not sure overplaying them in those situations is a smart move. So yeah, we got to pick and choose when we play them.
be the guy at the heart, the seventh
Connor
door.
Garland.
Generational talent.
Thanks for liking the video and subscribing.